Hello Curious and welcome back. It has been some time that Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle had moved permanently to the United States. For the prince, this was all new, not only stepping down from his positions as senior member and losing benefits that came with it, but also living in the US rather than just visiting. Though for Markle this was nothing new, as this was her old stomping ground. But as time went on, many have noted that it looks like Harry is getting more and more accustomed to life across the pond, such as taking his cousin Eugenie to the Superbowl and enjoying the fun. Just how comfortable has he gotten there? Has the member of the British monarchy planned on changing his citizenship? And could he now undergo some cosmetic procedures that were not really allowed for members of the royal family? Stay with us until the very end to find out all the latest news, but before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss our future videos about interesting celebrity gossip. Prince Harry and Meghan had first moved to Los Angeles in March 2020. At the start, while many of us were struggling during the pandemic, the son of Prince Charles and Lady Diana was having his own struggles that came with moving to a different country and settling there with his family. That was revealed in an interview with Dr. Jane Goodall, a British scientist and a friend of Harry, who in an interview with the Economic Times had commented that she does not know how his career will map out, but added that he was finding life a little bit challenging. Though if you want to know just how the two are coping in the USA now and how much it is all costing them, be sure to check out our previous video by clicking on the link above. But for now, make sure to stay with us until the very end. But it has been nearly 2 years since then, and it looks like the grandson of Queen Elizabeth II has gotten more comfortable and used to life in California. Some had even pointed out that he has started speaking more like an American. Body language expert Judy James spoke with The Express towards the end of 2021 and pointed out that Harry is showing signs of his immersion in the US lifestyle, such as adopting traces of an American accent when he pronounces certain words. But she wasn't the only one that has picked up on this. Similarly, Jennifer Dorman, an expert social linguist, had analysed the first episode of the Sussexes podcast when they first had released it and pointed out that some typical American phrases that he has been using, such as "you guys," which is not something that as a member of the British monarchy he would have normally said in a public setting. Others had also pointed out that the pair are becoming typical American mega celebrities, and looking at their various business moves such as deals with Netflix and Spotify, despite the fact that not much has come out of that at the moment, the interview with Oprah, it is no surprise that some have pointed out that the two are trying to turn away from the royal family image and more into that of philanthropy and entertainment media. It is also worth pointing out that being away from his family and duties, the prince has also decided to write a memoir, which according to reports is set to be released in late 2022. And while his sister-in-law had her photography published in a book last year, Harry's one will be much different, as it will be a tell-all of his life within the monarchy. If you want to know more about it, be sure to check out our previous video by clicking on the link above. But for now, stay with us until the very end. Though at the same time, given that the two had lost benefits and funds that came with being senior members of the royal family, they have to make money somehow. And living in LA and already being in the public eye, what better way to do that than to take advantage of the glitter and glam of Hollywood? Speaking of taking advantage of the place they are living, especially when it comes to them becoming these mega celebrities, some fans had pointed out the time that both of them had appeared on the cover of Time magazine. And while gracing the front page of magazines is nothing new to members of royal family, fans had pointed out that usually those are already pre-existing photos that are featured and not normally ones that have been specially photographed with the cover in mind. That is proven by the fact that according to The Independent, that was the first time that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have appeared together on a magazine cover. On top of that, while there are many different people that feature on the list of world's 100 most influential people, Time is an American publication that many associate with the country. Of course, the two are also enjoying their Hollywood lifestyle by having plenty of celebrity friends, as well as neighbours such as Oprah and Ellen. Prince Harry has also been in touch with his fellow Brit, Lord of the Rings star Orlando Bloom. Appearing on Dax Shepard's podcast Armchair Expert, the 37-year-old talked about how he and Bloom keep in touch and alert each other of paparazzi in the area. Speaking of the Hollywood elite though, it is nothing new that they love to embrace the wellness culture and a healthy way of living, and it seems that this is something that Harry has also caught on to. According to reports from Vanity Fair, he has given up drinking high percentage beverages, at least during Meghan's pregnancy. He has also quit smoking and allegedly gave up caffeine as well, instead sticking to regular workouts and early morning Buddhist routines. That is not to say that the rest of the royal family leave an unhealthy lifestyle, as many of them are advocates for some kind of sport, be it soccer or rugby, as well as healthy living. Though it seems being in Los Angeles has influenced Harry to make some changes to his life. Speaking of sport, most recently royal fans had a bit of a surprise as photos had emerged from the Superbowl that showed Prince Harry and his cousin Princess Eugenie enjoying the match. And while back in the UK it was not uncommon to see him in the stands at a rugby or soccer match, but when it comes to America's national sport, this marks the first time that the Duke of Sussex has attended it. According to onlookers, the two cousins were seen dancing in their seats while Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent and Mary J. Blige performed during the halftime show. Though whether he has become a fan of the sport or which team he was rooting for is unknown, and that is not something that anyone has let on. It is also worth pointing out that the prince is living the celebrity brand sponsored life to the max. When it comes to the Super Bowl, celebrities often get their VIP seats in different suites from brands that they either get invited by, for example, under the guise of publicity, or ones that they all have already been working with. And with Prince Harry, it is easy to imagine that there were most likely many brands that were vying for the chance to host him in their area. However, the suite that the two royal cousins had watched the game from was sponsored by Salesforce, which is one of the official partners of BetterUp, the mental health and coaching platform that the father of two is currently a chief impact officer of. Though it wouldn't be the complete celebrity treatment without getting a chance to hit up the behind-the-scenes areas after the match was over. In photos that appeared on the social media account of the Los Angeles Rams, it was evident that the Duke of Sussex had paid them a visit in their locker room following their big win. The team had shared the pics that showed the former senior royal checking out the Vince Lombardi trophy to their social media. In the images that were titled "Feeling Like Royalty," Harry was seen wearing a Rams hat as he chatted with the team's owner, and, as it turns out, the two might have something in common. As it turns out that Stan Kroenke owns the UK soccer team Arsenal, which Harry is also a fan of. But besides appearing at the event that many describe as the epitome of American culture, that was not the only thing that had people's tongues wagging. It turns out that Harry's hair was the main topic. It is nothing new that in recent years, the youngest of Lady Diana's sons had been facing the same problem as his brother William, and that is hair loss. But seeing the photos of him and Princess Eugenie, which the first to come out during the match were low quality, people could not believe that it was the former senior royal, as according to them, he had too much hair. So did the prince undergo some cosmetic procedure? Of course, enhancing one's looks is not something that the royal family would openly endorse or admit to. Unless you're Prince Andrew's ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, who had openly admitted that she had work done to help her look this good at 60. When it comes to other members of the family, such as Kate Middleton, that has just been gossip and speculation. But with Sarah, it is also worth pointing out that just like the Sussexes, she is no longer a senior royal. So could Harry now be free to undergo some hair transplant treatment or any other cosmetic procedure? Well, technically yes, though whether this is something he'd be open about is another thing. There were rumours in the past that prior to his wedding to Meghan, he had something done with his hair, attending a celebrity clinic in London that would have done it for him at a cost of around $68,000. And while that has remained nothing but a rumour, the most recent photos had people talking again. Some internet users had suggested that maybe this was something that Meghan had pressured the prince into doing, pointing out that having been an actress and Hollywood star prior to their marriage, she would know very well the value of looking good and wanted to ensure that her husband looked as best as he could. Others had suggested that should that have been the case, the reason for this was because she would not have wanted to be seen with a bald man. Though of course, for now that is nothing but rumours. If the prince really had something done, well, that is not something that he has publicly revealed, and chances are that he might never do. But it is no secret that Los Angeles boasts plenty of places where someone can go to fix up something they don't like about themselves. So chances are that if a need like that ever arises for him, it will not be a problem to find a good clinic that would help him out. With all this new life and how comfortable he seems in the US, came to question as to whether the Duke would consider getting an American citizenship. Well, maybe not. A royal source spoke with the Times and revealed that he had made no application for dual citizenship and that they don't think he will apply for one. So what do you think, Curious? Do you reckon that the prince has completely gotten comfortable with his life in America? In your opinion, has he had something done to his hair? What other typical celebrity steps do you think he could take next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.